Eh, it was soulless. We've got he shirt, she shirt.
That's true.
It
That's
means
true.
more.
I feel like that's a great segue into our ad read.
What? Bring it up. Let's start our show, man.
Okay. Are you sure?
I
don't know
am
if I'm
ready.
for this. I still don't know what we're talking about tonight.
We're gonna figure it the fuck out.
Okay. Are you tired of being smoke bombers by your friends in games? Yep, that's what it says.
That doesn't make any sense.
Are you just trying to build your little camp so you can survive another night of sandworms and Kevins? While these are legitimate concerns, they ultimately have nothing to do with this ad for HeShirtSheShirt.com. Unless, of course, you plan on ordering a custom shirt that says, "Fuck your smoke bombs, gun bait." Either way, you should taxi yourself on over to HeShirtSheShirt.com to peruse the wide variety of shirts available to purchase. It's a known fact that donning a he shirt, she shirt can grant the wearer +7 mobility, +2 girth, and +4 dexterity. Researchers say there's no correlation between those three stats, but our girthiness begs to differ. So don't forget to use the code JSGCast to get 10% off your order at your favorite shirt store and to support your favorite podcast. And now, please enjoy this episode of Bears, Nips, and Gnarls. Oh my.
Oh my, indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 105 of
For a second, I had a panic moment because I was like, 100? I thought we already did 100.
Welcome to episode 2.
We've gone back in time.
We've gone back in time. Hello, everyone. We're recording from the PlayStation. Future. This is Russell's first episode. I'm very excited to have him here.
Yeah, we used to do that, didn't we?
Yeah. Also, we have Luthien. What's going on? How do you like Destiny? Cool.
And Nick will be joining us later on.
Yeah. Wow. Episode 2. What a thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Before he was Sandbag Bob.
That's true.
HW7 Force.
HWF-7 Force. And then he told the Sandbag Bob story and went, hey, that is a way better thing to do. Oop. What, buddy? No, that's not
now Brett is being distracted by his son.
What do you need, brother? No, it's not root beer.
I need girthiness.
There's nothing in there, buddy. There's water upstairs, though.
That's what HeShirtSheShirt.com is for. To increase my girthiness.
Oh, I don't know, buddy.
And also to prevent gunbait from smoke bombing me while trying to build a camp in Last Oasis.
Thank you. Love you.
Because that's a thing.
Love you.
Love you.
Love you. Okay.
Aren't they cute?
Bye. Bye.
That part will probably not be edited out.
Bye.
Of the VOD.
Bye. Bye.
He's tired of your shenanigans.
God, I hate kids. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm sure he appreciates that.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's probably walking away going, geez, I hate Dad.
Yeah.
Such a pain in the neck.
God, he's the worst. Oh, man. Where were we, Russell?
I had just done the ad read. We were talking about it being episode 105.
105.
About it being episode 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I'm hearing an echo on your end.
Are you?
Maybe. Yeah. I hear myself.
I don't know how.
That's weird.
You shouldn't be hearing yourself.
Hey, everybody. I'm ELMMERFUDD. Oh, I definitely am. I don't know. I'll be hosting the podcast tonight. Joining me, folks, it's the effervescent Russell.
I never know quite what to say to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you shouldn't be hearing an echo. I just checked and made sure there's no audio coming from the computer.
I don't hear it anymore, I don't think. I think we're good.
Maybe it was just because you were getting ready and you knew that there was going to be an echo coming for the introduction of my name.
That could be.
The venerable ELMMERFUDD. I am doing great. Yeah, sorry. No, I'm super distracted. Okay, venerable ELMMERFUDD. Yes, I'm doing great. It has been a week, man. I am so tired. I am so glad it's the weekend.
How was your trip?
It was very quick. So, okay, so get this.
Bring it.
You won't be surprised. You probably won't be surprised by this. So I sometimes have a bad habit of being late for my flights. It's just a common thing.
What?
And I'm not real sure why people stress real bad about it because they always just book you on the next flight out. So it's usually not that big of a deal. Like they're like, oh, okay, we'll just book you on the next flight. And then it's usually like an hour. This time, so what happened is like we left like 3 hours early to get to our flight. But what happened is we had to go and we had to drop off the dog at our friend's because typically what we do is we just have somebody watch our dog for us at the house, and we pay them to come and just sit with him for a couple of days or whatever. And but this time all the people that we usually use were out of town. So we got one of our friends, they live down in San Antonio, which is about an hour away, to watch our dog. And so we're going to go and drop them off. Well, Lindsay was running late coming back she had a physical therapy appointment. And she was coming back from that. And so we ended up leaving like a little bit late, but we were still leaving 3 hours early. The only bad thing is there was a wreck on I-10, which is the major interstate to get down there. So we had to
hate I-10.
So we had to take a different way that takes a little bit longer, but then it was raining really, really hard. So we ended up we got to these people's house at like 6:30. Our flight leaves at 7:22.
That's scary.
And it's like 10. It was like 30 minutes away. So we got to the airport at 7:05. We got to the gate at 7:13. And you have no way of knowing this, but the San Antonio airport, you have to walk through two garages to get to the airport.
It's a good design. I really like that.
It's really, really dumb. And so that should tell you, we made it 8 minutes to the gate, and that was going through security and everything. So we get up there and they close the doors. They close the doors at 10 minutes prior to the plane's departure, and we got there at 9 minutes to the plane's departure.
And they wouldn't let you in?
No, they wouldn't let us in. And I was like, I get it. So we just had to take a flight out like the next morning. So we got there, and then the thing that we were so we landed at 10:30. The thing that we were supposed to be at for our business starts at 10:30. So we were like an hour late getting to that. And then that was an all day thing until 9 p.m. that night. And then we spent some time with some of our senior business partners, just kind of chatting, sitting around a fire, that kind of thing.
Oh, hell yeah.
Until like 1 o'clock in the morning. And then we got up the next day and did some more business stuff, and then flew out at 6 o'clock and got home at like midnight. Because then they pushed our flight got delayed by like an hour. So we didn't end up getting home until like 1 a.m. And so it was fun, but it was just boom, boom, one thing to the next.
That makes sense. Yeah, when I text like, how was it being away? You're like, yeah, I wasn't really away. And I was like, okay, well, still away though. Now that makes sense. That was definitely not. Yeah. There was zero time for you to just enjoy existing elsewhere.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I'm excited to come up there. I'm calling it our birthday, but I'm coming up there for your birthday.
No, it's our birthday, Russell.
So I'm excited to do that because I know that you're a pretty chill guy. And so I expect it'll be a pretty chill week.
Nah, man, we're going to do fucking heroin. We're going to get some hookers. We're going to blow up a cop car.
My point is that I will have very little responsibility while I'm there. And
that is true. You will have zero. If there's one thing I'm really good at, it's trying to have zero responsibility at all times.
And I am so excited for that. And I'll get to sleep in. Like, this is one of the few times that I'll be able, like, I've gotten a hotel room and I can sleep in.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, because usually when I'm traveling, it's for business. And so it's like, you sleep for a couple hours in the hotel room, you get up and you do everything again.
Where are
next
you? Where you don't have to give out information for people to find you, but where are you staying?
Not far, like 6 miles away.
Okay, because they just built a hotel like literally across the street from the neighborhood.
Is it a Hampton?
No, I think it's a La Quinta, maybe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I stay with Hilton because I have all my points through there.
Oh, I know where you're staying at now. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not staying at the Hampton. I'm staying at the Hilton, the Garden Inn.
Okay, I know exactly where you're going to stay at.
Yeah, I don't think it's too far away.
No, that's not that bad.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm so excited.
I'm super excited too.
I just want to hold you.
I want to hold you.
I want to touch you. It's going to be glorious.
I think we're singing two different songs.
That
doesn't happen very often. No. Usually we're singing the same song.
There are a lot of options to go with Hold Me, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Hell yeah. What else is going on there, man?
I need to get back on Last Oasis, even just to check on stuff. Like, we need to go sandworm hunting. I built that other Hornet so that
we just don't have people. It's pissing me off, man.
I know.
Everyone,
I know.
You know, we just don't have the people to do it.
Yeah.
So if you're out there and you're listening to this and you want to play Last Oasis on a private server and hunt the worm, and there's just a lot of you, I'm looking at you, Egypt. Hit us up.
Yeah, here we go.
We want to kill the worm. We just don't have enough people, and it's sad.
I'm trying to get some ceramic bolts built too.
Hell yeah!
Like
get that damage out there.
Yeah. Although I was looking at it, they don't do like a whole lot more damage.
No, it's kind of a slight jump. I dig it because like there's a difference, so you want to have the best you can, but it's not so much that like if you don't have it, you're at an extreme disadvantage in PvP.
Oh,
you know.
Yeah. Sorry. This
also, call back to episodes a long time ago, folks. Russell's currently playing Red Dead while we're recording.
Well, I just randomly got attacked by these two dudes, and I have no idea what's going on.
Are they players?
I don't think so.
Are they blue dots on the mini map?
No. Well, they're red dots now because they're attacking me.
But, okay. Are they thick
dots
I don't
see any
teeny dots?
Player tags. They're little teeny dots.
Okay,
so
they're just
I don't
NPCs.
think they're actual players.
Okay. Players in the audience, you know what to do.
No, I'm paying attention. Like, I'm not being super loud. I'm paying attention.
I haven't heard the controller once.
Yeah. Well, the PlayStation 5 controller is a lot quieter.
Yes, that's true. It's a really nice controller.
I love this controller. Yeah, so let's talk about that for a minute. The PS5 controller.
Yeah.
Man, it is solid. I have it right here. So if you can see, I don't know if you can see this on the camera, but it's textured on the back, which my hands get kind of sweaty. Hey, look, it's a person. I don't know this person, but it's a person. So my hands get kind of sweaty. So the fact that it's textured on the back, it like stays in, it like wicks the moisture away. I really love like the glass buttons. The look of it is just really, really classy. The vibration is really nice. You can really tell the difference between like a regular PS4 controller and like the PS5 controller as far as like vibrations go.
Yeah.
Looks like you got a surprise visit from
I did.
people.
Yeah, we had a huge like COVID's over neighborhood party and like the whole cul-de-sac and some people a couple streets over and stuff. We had this, everyone had their own thing going and we bunch of tables and everything and just hanging out. It was super fun. But so I have a bunch of nieces we're watching currently right now. And the oldest one, who's my favorite, and literally everyone knows it because I'm really bad at hiding that. She's staying the night, so she came in to let me know. So we're all excited. Yay.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Yeah. So yeah. So we got that going on. But
so no, actually, what's been going on with you?
Well, real quick with the PS5 controller though. Actually, it's in the I can't remember his name, the head of Xbox. He recently came out and was talking about how blown away he is by the technology in the PS5 controller, and they were looking to try to bring some of that stuff over to their controller. Where they were doing they were looking really hardcore at hardware in the system. They're like, the controller's a controller. And then they saw the stuff with the PS5 and they went, no one's going to want that. And now everyone enjoys all that stuff. And they're like, all right, well, maybe we should do that.
It feels really good, really solid. Like even just the shape of it, like the little tweaks that they made, it makes it feel so much better. Like I don't like with the PS4 controller, I get if I put in a lot of hours, which I mean we're all gamers here, so I'm sure you guys understand. My joints would hurt, like my knuckles.
Oh yeah.
And like the joints on my finger.
The Xbox One controller was way better than the PS4, but I think the PS5 controller is one of the best ever made. It's such a good controller.
It's really solid. It feels really good, and even when my hands get sweaty, it doesn't get like super slippery. Like, it kind of wicks the sweat away, like the way they did the texture on the back. It's just excellent.
You're excellent.
You're excellent.
Thanks, man.
So what have you been up to?
Oh, God, what have I been up to? We had a big Warzone tournament this last weekend that went very well.
Yeah.
Good time with that. Once again, Warzone's an interesting beast when it comes to tournaments. Sure. Like, Apex is just... I mean, you shoutcast an Apex tournament with me. It was constant stuff going on, right?
Right.
And... Warzone is kind of a hit and miss. There could be a lot of because it's such a big map and there's so many players and such. It's a much slower experience than Apex, but like when stuff happens, it's super crazy. So like the first half was kind of slow. So that's when we did. We had to really improvise and make things funny ourselves. And then the second half was like that's when everyone just popped off. It was awesome. We had a team that hadn't played in a while that came back to hold their title, because people were creeping up on their most tournament wins. So they're like, all right, nope, we got to hold the line. Yeah. So they came out of retirement and won. And it was awesome to see that because none of them had really played. They're like, yeah, we'll give it a shot. And then they absolutely wrecked. So that was really cool to see, but yeah, it was just a ton of fun.
Who was co-hosting with you?
Just glad to be here. I don't know if you know her.
I don't think you know what?
I stream with her every Thursday.
Was it we rated her?
Yes, we did rate her one time. Yeah.
And she immediately got the win or something.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, right. We rated her. Yeah, it was super cool. Yeah, she's awesome.
What do you guys stream on Thursdays?
Usually Warzone. It's the only time I play. We just, don't take it seriously and have a good time, but we were checking out some of the new Sea of Thieves stuff. Just kind of whatever catches the fancy, but mostly it ends up, the plan was to play a ton of games and then we just end up playing Warzone. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's fair.
Yeah. It's a good time.
She seems pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like from the last, a few minutes that I watched her stream.
Yeah. Super cool. But yes, we had that going on. I've been checking out, what's the game called? On the old Xbox Game Pass. Because I was talking to you about the pass and I've been trying to sell it to like everyone I know. Clear Knight, who's not in chat right now, which makes me sad because he's always here. You know what I mean? He's constantly selling it and I'm like, I really should just sit down and find more games to play on there. So I found this game called SnowRunner. I don't know if you've heard of this. So it's such a time sink and I absolutely love it. So you literally like the game starts, you're in this like this small town in the middle of the mountains of Michigan and like a flood just came through and everything's broken. People need stuff. And you are just like the local truck dude, right? And so you start with this basic truck and you like start, hauling bricks and all sorts of things. There's like hundreds of different sized trucks and exploration vehicles that you can unlock and upgrade, different tires, different, all-wheel drive or, downshift, all this other stuff.
Is it a simulator?
Around the map. It's kind of it is a simulation. Yeah, you're right.
Okay. Well, because I'm thinking like, okay, do you actually like, it's third or first person, you have to like get into the truck, then drive.
No, you're literally just the vehicles. I mean, you have like an avatar sitting in the truck, but you never get out and walk around. It's literally just you move to another vehicle. You know, I guess I'll just read this. But SnowRunner puts you in the driver's seat of powerful vehicles as you conquer extreme open environments with the most advanced terrain simulation ever. Drive 40 vehicles from brands such as Ford, Chevrolet, and Freightliner as you leave your mark on an untamed open world. Overcome mud, torrential water, snow, and frozen lakes while taking on perilous contracts and missions. Expand and customize your fleet with many upgrades and accessories, including an exhaust snorkel for heavy waters or chain tires to battle the snow. It's literally... Go ahead.
I said it almost kind of reminds me of Death Stranding a little bit in the fact that you're a delivery man.
Yeah, but it's a lot of like... But you're just it's not just a walking simulator. Like you're just, I don't know. It's like, I feel like I got to put a plaid shirt on, put a big hat. I'll legitly put on like a list of like 70 Southern rock and just throw that, blare it. And I'll just sit here and literally truck along, man, and build bridges and plow through the mud. And you have it's this really cool, winch system where you can just like, connect to anything around you and like reel yourself in. So you get, it's brutal slogging through all this stuff when you first start. Cause you have to unlock like all-terrain tires. You have to unlock, mud tires, off-road tires, you have to find unlocks to like give yourself all-wheel drive and stuff. So at the beginning, you're constantly like stuck and reeling yourself out of stuff or like, I was playing it a little bit with Gunbait when I first started it, and like we have to back up to each other and like tow the other one out of mud piles and like, look at contracts and go, all right. So we need 2 pallets of wood. We need some bricks. We need this and that. And so we'd each go off and get a trailer, and then go to the different parts of the map. You get the stuff and then convene together and build it up. And it's a ton of, it's just absolute time. You spend most of your time just plowing through mud, trying to get out the other side to where you're going across the whole map. But it's just a ton of fun. It's a different experience and something I was like, it's not, because I've been playing so many, hack 'em slashers or MMOs or shooters, it's like, it's a real fun breakaway from the norm to just, it's mindless driving a big ass truck. You're just listening to truck sounds and exhaust and shift changes and, changing collaterals and just like, and cruising. It's just addicting.
Yeah.
Highly recommend.
I would be willing to give it a try. It's not typically a game I would play, but if I got to play it with you, I'd give anything a try.
It's not something I thought I would enjoy. I mean, like, I grew up around construction and stuff. Like, it was not a game I was like, I want to play that,
Yeah. Too real.
Yeah. Too soon. But, no, it's really cool. Once, it took us a while. We did things like the hard way until we realized that there's like down power lines. Well, not an easy way, but we discovered on each section of the map, there's like natural disasters that have happened that you need certain stuff to fix it. And if you go through the trouble of doing all that stuff first to repair the roads, then actually doing all the other missions are way easier.
Right.
So we spent hours just burrowing through side roads and mud to go around stuff and drag trailers and pull each other out.
Oh, geez.
And then we're like, oh shit, if we just brought some wood and stone right here, we'd have a bridge.
Right.
A paved bridge, They're like, damn it. So yeah, but that's it. Once you figure that out, super fun gameplay loop, man. You get to a new zone, you immediately look at what's all broken, sit there and fix it all, and work on all the other side missions. Ton of fun.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to give it a try. We still need to do like a Star Citizen.
Yeah, you do still need to play that.
Yeah.
There's an update coming out, I think soon. We just saw a video for it, I think today, for Star Citizen. We had a little chatter going on in the Discord.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. This big Xenothreat event's coming back, which they only do once a year. And it's this huge, like, insane battle in space with this huge ship. And it's broken in a way where, like, as long as you're doing damage to the ship, like, you're making a shit ton of money.
Oh, whoa.
So it's a really good way to just make money and then try out, attachments and other ships and buy ships and move around, because they don't wipe anymore. So if you buy stuff in game, like, you just have it now, which is super cool.
Oh, that is nice.
So you can just work your way up to, start with nothing and work your way up to having a better ship, which is super. It's such a nice gameplay loop now to like feel like you're advancing by just playing the game,
Sure.
which is what every gamer wants.
It would be a good one for me to jump in on because then I could make lots of money and get a ship relatively quickly.
Exactly. And they usually buff turrets. So if you sat in a turret, you'd be doing a ton of damage. It'd be all good.
Ooh, I'm okay with that.
Hell yeah, man. But other than that, I beat Mass Effect 2.
Yeah, I saw that. You were waiting to do the last mission in stream, right?
Yes, I was waiting. Oh god, it made me. I was just like the stream before. I was like, all right, I think I still have a little more till I get to the end. And so I was like, all right, I'll play a little bit off stream because I just can't. It's my favorite game ever made. And I did one mission, which I forgot how things worked. I had one mission. It took like 6 minutes. And then it was like the end of the game and it was the next mission. I was like, fuck. so it worked out because we couldn't record the podcast. And I was like, Lisa, can I stream tonight? Like, I cannot wait till Tuesday. So she let me stream. So I sat down and finished Mass Effect 2 and accidentally messed a couple things up in the final mission. It's been about 8 playthroughs since I've had anyone die in the suicide mission at the end of Mass Effect 2.
Right. Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Because that's supposed to be like, you have to do very, very specific
You have to
things.
do everything perfect for everyone to survive. And I've done it perfectly the last 8 playthroughs. And I just got in the zone. I did everything you had to before the mission to make sure certain people survived. And then in the mission, I was just so into it because like I've never done it on PC. I always played it, I was on the Xbox 360 on my TV. I didn't have headphones, so it was just through the speakers. So like I had this updated graphics, keyboard and mouse, surround set headphones on, like the music's blaring, it's intense, chats into it, and I'm just in this zone going through and I'm making choices, a couple choices that were wrong in the long run but in the moment it made sense. Hey, who should escort these people? Oh, well, the mercenary guy I brought along he's armored and he should be the one to take people through. I think I want Garrus and Grunt to be in my squad to kill everything because they're my boys, which at a certain moment in the mission means there's not enough big defensive players or squad mates to defend this line, which I didn't think about, that I'd sent all of them on different stuff. So we get to the end of the game. Well, at first, we're killing the boss, and I vault over a wall, and the cutscene all of a sudden starts at the end of the game. And I'm like, did it just bug out? And I saw Morden, Solis, and not Liara, and Tali were both dead. And I'm like, what the fuck? This isn't right. I did everything right. I was all pissed off. I'm like, no, we're going back to save point. It bugged. I did everything right. And so we went back and redid it, and then got to the end. I'm like, there. We made it. And they were dead again. And I'm like, what? No. So I was all pissed off, right? Like I finished my favorite game of all time. And I was pissed off, And so I end stream and I'm sitting there and I'm looking it up and I'm going through the list. There's this blog that everyone's been using since the game came out to get through the end mission perfect. And I'm like, I followed this step by step. What did I do wrong? And I'm digging and I'm searching. And then I looked on a different site that was talking about how, it doesn't say anywhere, but there's like offensive and defensive type characters. And if you don't have, and I was like, oh, that's what it was. I didn't have enough defense characters. And so I had to reload the entire end of the game again off stream to play through again.
Just to make sure,
I'm like, I am starting the third game right, damn it.
Because it affects what happens in the third one.
Yeah.
Right?
And they're both there's characters that have nothing really to do with the third game, but those are two characters that are really big deals in the third game. And if they're dead, those parts of the story just don't happen.
Right.
And you're like, what? So I was like, this can't be. And the collector base at the end, I always destroy it. And this one I was like, hey, I've never saved it. Like, I've never done it this way, so we're going to try that. And literally everyone in the crew hated me for it and was like, that was the wrong move, Shepard. You're an idiot. And I felt horrible. So since I restarted the mission anyway, I was like, all right, We're blowing this bitch up. So now I started Mass Effect 3 with everything exactly the way I want it, and I'm a happy man.
All right.
Yeah.
I need to buckle down and play and get through Mass Effect 1. I think I'll enjoy Mass Effect 2 a lot more than Mass Effect 1 is a lot of talking.
It is a lot. But honestly, like the remastered of it is worth the Legend Edition for me, period. Like it was such a better experience than when you previously go back to Mass Effect 1 and go, yeah, this is an old game.
Right. Well, and that's why I'm excited to play through it. I mean, you know, it's the remastered. It's, you know, I think I'm also a little bit more mature, so I can get through it. But it's getting through those parts to really get into the story. I think I just haven't gotten into the story yet.
Yeah, Mass Effect 2 is definitely a ton more action.
And I am there for more
There's
action.
definitely still a lot of talking and story, but it's not like we just need to basically world build. It's like, these are characters that are interesting and they're who you're going to learn about instead of just everything else.
Right. And I'm there for character development.
Yeah.
World building is fine, but if I have, like, I like the characters. I like the character interactions. And I was starting to get that, because once you get out of the Citadel, I feel like you get that a lot more.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I'm still on my first mission out of the Citadel, and I think, you know, but then I got distracted with getting my new PC and playing games on there, and I kind of took a break. But like for the last week, almost 2 weeks, I've kind of taken a break from gaming. But I've been so tired by the end of the day that I'm like, I don't have time to game.
I hear that, dude. Yeah. I got off work yesterday and I was so tired. I came home and I crashed and I woke up to my alarm for work this morning. And I was like, oh. My wife goes, yep, I didn't let anyone bother you. I could tell you were dead. And I was like, yeah, I guess. Huh. And I'm still tired right now.
Yeah.
It's like, I slept for like 30 hours. No, I didn't sleep for 30 hours, but you know how it goes.
Yeah, I do. I do. I've been sleeping a lot lately, and it's like I can't get enough sleep.
It's never enough.
And I'm just like, and I can just go, okay, I'm tired. And I can, you know, I don't even have to be like in a place, like I can just fall asleep on the couch. Like today, what was I doing? I think I was on a meeting for work, and I was also doing a thing like on my phone, and I fell asleep. I was like, oh, whoa, that's weird. Like, because I had like enough going on to where that shouldn't have been a concern, but somehow I still fell asleep, and I was like, whoa.
Dude, the second I hit 30, that happened. It was just like, I've always been a real big fan of naps, but once I hit 30, it was like, anywhere I am at any time, I can go, you know what? Now's a good time.
Yeah.
Roller coaster, it's nap time.
And I mean, I like naps, but there are also lots of things that I like. Gaming. Like, I'd love to be able to spend more time gaming, and I have to find the time when I can. So if I'm taking a nap, that means that I don't get the hour that usually I'd be like, oh, I'm going to hop on for an hour and just, you know, fart around.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
naps are good. I choose the nap every time. I am obsessed with naps. I look at my kids and they like fight naps, and I'm like, if you only knew, children.
One day you'll understand.
Yep, one day you'll get it, you know. It's been vindicating, because there's a few of my nieces, right? Because we're really close.
Right.
And, you know, I've had some more, I've delved deeper into my own mind the last few years, and, you know, anxiety and depression have kind of come to the forefront, and I'm kind of pulled back a little bit, and I'm, you know, constantly, you know, I want to sleep when I can, and I'm tired from work, and, you know, I just want to be in here, you know, I'm always hiding away because I just don't want to be social, you know? And so, you know, there's a while, you know, the older ones as they've grown up were like, man, Uncle Brett's changed, you know, he's so lazy now, and blah, 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 blah. And as they've gotten older in their teenage years, they come up to me and they go, I get it, Uncle Brett. life sucks. And I'm like, thank you. They're like, all I
Now
want to
you
do.
understand.
They're like, I have what you have, and I just want to be left alone and sit in my room and nap. And I'm like, yes. It's like, all right,
Now
good.
you know.
There's not something horribly wrong with me. And as they've aged, they've gone, yeah, you've got it figured out. I'm like, no, I don't. But this is what my life is.
This is what it is now.
So yeah, that's vindicating to have them say that to me.
Yeah.
I don't like that, my nieces are, struggling like I am, but it feels nice in a weird, horrible way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I get that. And
yeah.
Anyway.
For sure. Well, we did have a little something we actually wanted to talk about and review a little bit tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. So, RDRO.
Red Dead Online.
Yeah, they recently released an expansion, and it's not like the typical expansions that we've had over the last.
I'd call it more an update than an expansion.
I would disagree, but we'll get into that.
All right,
we'll get into that.
To hear about
I've
this.
had some time to do a couple of things, and anyway. So it's a little bit different because typically the expansions or the updates or whatever you want to call them that we've seen lately have been roles, right? Where and typically they're like, okay, pay us gold, which is real currency that you can earn in game, like cents at a time. And they usually, anyway, you usually have to pay gold, which you can also pay to buy from the store to be able to purchase these roles, to be able to participate in them. From this one, there are no. It doesn't require any gold to start. In fact, most of the missions that I've played so far give you a good bit of gold.
It's like 0.8, I think, per, which is really good.
Which is pretty high.
Yeah.
And so it's the expansion is called Blood Money, and it feels very much in the vein of like a typical Grand Theft Auto kind of thing. In this expansion, you are working with Montello. What's his first name?
I can't remember his first name, but he works for. Oh my god, I keep saying his name over and over and over and over and over and over. Angelo
Bronte.
Angelo Bronte.
Yeah. So you kind of get involved in more of like the Italian mafia, which is it's interesting, like because you're still in a Western, but now you have also got like gang wars.
Yeah, which is it is an interesting thing because it's a part of the West that not a lot of people look at because we think of little podunk towns in the middle of Texas or in the middle of all sorts of places. You don't really think about that, like in some more civilized areas, which Saint Denis is supposed to represent. Like all that stuff was already happening. Like the Italian mob and all that's like they were already existing in there.
Right. Well, and it actually, so this is a little bit of a tangent. There was a show that I was watching on HBO, which is actually a Cinemax show. It was called Warrior, and it's a Brett, you would love this. It's a kung fu western.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah. So apparently, it's based on like writings by Bruce Lee. Like I haven't researched too much how that ties in, but basically. The story is a Chinese immigrant ends up in San Francisco, and he's a kung fu master. Like he learned kung fu from a master, and so he ends up entangled with the Hopway because they find out he's a fighter, and they're like, we need good fighters, so they basically buy him as almost like a slave. Because I guess what would happen is as they brought these Chinese immigrants over, they would basically be like indentured servitude for a number of years.
Yep.
And so he ends up with the Hopway, and so it takes on this very, like obviously he knows kung fu, so there's lots of hand-to-hand combat, but also it takes place like in the Wild West. So you have this kind of Western flair to a kung fu show. It's really good.
That
And
sounds
that's what this
awesome.
kind well, it is. And that's kind of what this expansion reminds me of, because you're embroiled in not something that you would normally associate with the Old West or the Wild West, whatever you want to call it. Um, where you have gangs and mafias, and they're kind of carving out their own little piece of the pie,
Hmm.
with things going on that's historically accurate, that it's there and that it's a thing, but not something that you would normally associate with a Western.
Yeah, it's actually just real quick, another little slight tangent on just timelines and not thinking about how stuff goes together, right? I was reading an article the other day actually that was showing a picture from 1865 of the oldest man in the world at the time was like 108 in 1865, and it was
Wow.
this article in the newspaper, and it was something. It's like the math adds up, like the math checks out, but you don't think about it because everything feels like such a big difference, you know.
Yeah.
So this picture was taken in 1865, and this
Which means he
guy,
was alive during the Revolutionary War.
he was a drummer for George Washington.
Yeah.
And it's like, you read something like that, you're like, wow, mind fuck, you know? But like, duh, if you think about it, like it adds up. But when you read that headline, you're like, no, that's not right. That was forever ago. Yeah.
It's really crazy. Like, even like I was looking at dates for like the Wild West, right?
Yeah.
Which is like the late 1800s. And conceivably, like, even like, let's talk in 2000. There could have still been people alive that lived during that time,
Yeah. It's crazy.
which is nuts. I mean, you think about it today. There are people alive today that were alive when before there was a TV. They were alive before World War One.
That's exactly what I was going to say. There's people born like
Before there
right
were
before World War
cars.
One, and they saw World War One, World War Two,
Right.
you know, Vietnam, and they've seen everything come out and change to now. It's crazy.
Before plane travel, before the internet,
Yeah.
before being able to communicate over a phone line, not just a cell phone. I'm talking a hard line.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Before they even could, well, not before that, but yeah, but when they
Before
pick up the
cars were mass produced.
operator, I'd like to reach so and so in St. Louis, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, they were there to see headlines for first production car or the first, you know, when the Wright brothers took flight. Like, you know, it's like, it's
Yeah.
nuts. And just
Yeah.
the stuff, and this is such a tangent now, but just the stuff in our lifetime,
Yeah.
man.
Totally, yeah.
I was actually thinking about that the other day. I was like, it's a real dumb thing, but I was like, in freshman year of high school, in computer class, we were supposed to bring in CDRWs, so CD rewritables. And by the time I hit senior year was when we were all using flash drives. Like just in that small bit of time, we moved from CDs to being digital, to being, you know, USB flash drives and hooking everything up. And like, you know, we've been alive for when you were, if you're playing your Game Boy at night, you could only move when you drove past a street light, to the Nintendo Switch existing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's just, in our short little bit of time, like the difference me and you have seen, and they've experienced that for over 100 years.
Yeah.
We're gonna
And
be,
then you think about what we're going to experience over the course of our lifetime.
we're gonna be,
I mean, electric cars that drive themselves.
yeah, or someday when they, you know, they just hover. Even you know, back in I saw this post on Facebook. It was like I was talking to my nephew, letting you know about how, you know, back in the day you'd have to mail your movies back to Netflix and they'd send you a new one.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay. I've got a story about this.
Well, and the rest of the post is, and as he walked away, he went, "Back in my day, you had to mail the internet." You know, shit, it's crazy, man.
Well, and so I ran into a guy the other day, and he was like, "Oh, you know, I'm retired." I was like, I mean, he wasn't that old. I mean, he was
Yeah.
like maybe 40s, and I was like, and he was like, "I don't like retired. You know, I work when I want to, but I don't really have to." I was like, how were you able to do that?
Yeah.
Like, please tell me, like, how were you able to do that? He had bought stock in Netflix way back when it was still a mail-in service.
Oh yeah.
And then he just kept buying more and more and more and more and more and more. And then it got to the point he just cashed out. And he was like, I made, over $1 million. And I just cashed out. And I was like, he's like, I just got really lucky. I was like, yeah, geez. And smart, because I mean, most people don't observe those trends. And he was talking about, because when they first started streaming, there were two companies. There was Netflix and there was like Quick Light or something like that.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
And so that was like what they used for their streaming service. They had basically bought, kind of like what Disney did.
Yeah.
They had bought an existing streaming service, tweaked it, modified it, put their spin on it, put their name on it, and then got it out the door. And so he was like, a bunch of people dumped it when there started to be two companies. And just imagine being that person who dumped it right as, because
dumped the wrong one. I mean, yeah.
A year or two after, right, is when boom, everybody's got Netflix, everybody is streaming, nobody's really even using the envelope service anymore.
Yeah.
And just dang. Like, can you imagine? I would be kicking myself. I'd be like, I am the biggest idiot in the entire world. And he was like, I just kept buying. I was like, I just kept buying. I just had a feeling on what it was going to become. And it's like those people that bought into Apple. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Wow.
No, I love this too. Cause like, I remember when Amazon was first, like, I remember sitting on the couch and going, what's this Amazon thing? And it was just this, just some stupid website my mom ordered books from.
Right. Because that's what it started as.
That's all it was. I remember distinctly saying, oh, it's just some stupid bookstore. And it's fucking what it is now.
Yeah.
It's insane, dude.
It used to sell used books.
Yep. And now they have their own delivery service. They're in everything. He's going into space in a billionaire race.
So I think, what was it? The Virgin Airs guy.
Yeah. Yeah. He just went up into space.
Went into space. How cool is that? Like, we're on the cusp of seeing commercial space travel.
We have one, it's super cool. At the same time, we're like, we have billionaires having space races right now. And it's a really weird thing to experience.
Right.
It's super cool for what the future can hold. But you look at it and you go, it's just a big money pissing contest and it's annoying. But what can come from it, super cool.
I don't know, because I mean, look at what air flight did.
Yeah.
For the amount of, okay, well, I'm just gonna hop on the plane, take off, and then I'll be there in a few hours. Think of international travel through space.
No, I absolutely agree. It's going to completely change things. It's just in the moment, it's just kind of like,
Well, and I think that's why they're racing for it, right? Because then it's commercial, like turning it into a commercial enterprise where you can travel internationally, and what used to take 14 hours takes an hour.
Yeah, it takes what it would for me to fly to you now, Oh yeah.
Right.
It's super cool.
I mean, that is insane.
It's nutty, dude. And then you got Elon Musk making internet for the world with satellites right now, putting a whole ring around the world so you can get satellite internet's shitty right now. And he's putting this ring out there so you get like high speed internet no matter where you are in the world once he's done.
Yeah.
And then you got these guys pushing for commercial flights, and it's like, yeah, future's now, old man. Future is now.
It'll be like we were talking about. It'll be interesting to see what all changes in our lifetime.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's nutty, man. And it'll be interesting to see how we look back on it through rose-tinted glasses, Like someone brought up a good point the other day. You look back at Blockbuster and all the good times you had there, but everyone forgets that used to all be, mom and pop video rental stores, and then Blockbuster came through and bought them all out. and they all went out of business. You know, you forget that part of it because you just remember all the good times at Blockbuster. And same with, you know, we're all going to forget Redbox someday will not exist. And, you know, Netflix will do something and we'll all forget something else. And it's really interesting how that happens.
I think Redbox has a very niche service, and I think it works very well for them. I think it would be a very long time because, and it's simply because it appeals to a very specific demographic.
Yeah,
and that demographic is honestly people who don't have the means to have internet monthly.
Yeah,
or they don't have a computer or something like that where they can just go and it's $1.
Oh yeah. And it was super smart to get in with like, there's one at every Walmart. There's one at every McDonald's. There's one at every CVS
HEB,
pharmacy.
You know, I mean, it's one of those things. It's like a vending machine.
Yeah. Really smart.
And I think in the same way that vending machines, they always have a source, you know, as like almost like an impulse buy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, where it's like, hey, let's, or, you know, and especially I think it relates to kids too, because they go, hey, I want this movie, or I want, you know, and especially now that they've got video games that are in it for $1.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I've definitely rented a couple of games. I was like, I don't know if I like this. I'm just going to go rent it. Well, it's cool. Like Redbox has got that thing, you know, because we were just talking about how you look back on Blockbuster, you know, and Redbox is the closest thing we have to that. Let's have a movie night. We'll go to CVS. We'll get some snacks. We'll hit up the old box, see what movies there are for rent, and let's go home. You know, it's the closest thing we have to that classic experience. You know,
it's true.
Yeah.
Hey, weren't we talking about
Red Dead? Yeah,
Red Dead?
Yeah, we were. Yeah, yeah. So what do you do in this update?
So
I love you.
I love you too.
That was great.
It was. I hope everybody else enjoyed that tangent as much as we did. So what you do? So here,
you got this.
What do you do in the update? The update, it feels very specifically it's geared towards the people like us, right? We've been talking a lot about, hey, we want heists. We want they haven't got the real world event kind of heist going on yet.
Yeah, it's still not.
It feels like it's a step in the right direction. But here's where I think, because I've noticed a couple of things. So did you take a look at like the premium Capitale missions?
Yeah, I already did them.
Okay, you did. So they're not heist like that.
No, they take 4 minutes.
No. Yeah.
It's dumb. It's really dumb.
I've enjoyed I think it's a step in the right direction. I think they're not quite there yet.
Absolutely.
Because the point of this is you're a criminal, basically. You're an enforcer. You're somebody working on behalf of the mob.
Yeah,
the mafia, to go and basically keep their interests for them.
Yeah.
It revolves around a commerce of Capitale, which I'm still a little fuzzy on. Like, I'm like, what exactly?
I call it capital every time, and I don't get it.
It seems like it's a source that they use, and it seems like from what you know, Montello or whatever, the guy that you initially talked to, it seems like it's an internal commerce that they use.
Mm-hmm. They think it's going to be the future instead of the dollar.
Right, but to keep it to themselves, as is the nature of most things, you have to create scarcity to create value. And the setup is that there have been other people who have started stealing the Capitale and harboring it for themselves. So your thing is to go in and prevent that. And then as you accrue Capitale, you can use it to fund these more premium missions, is what it seems like.
Big air quotes.
Now you'll be able to answer more to that.
Really let down.
And I've done a couple of like the lesser missions. I've honestly enjoyed them. It feels like you're a criminal. Like, hey, go and rob this stagecoach. Hey, go and check out the times of the stagecoach and then go and rob it. Or go and kidnap this person was one of them. And then And then, so I've played a couple, and it's fun, and I like that they're on a rotating timer. Like, it seems like they change out every so often.
And there's a lot of different NPCs that can give you missions, and each of them
right.
are unique, and there's a cutscene with them, so you get to know them as a character when you go to each one of them, which is I really dig. It makes you. There's people I've gone up to, and I'm like, I really jive with this guy, and there's others I'm like, this guy creeps me the F out.
Right.
And I dig that a lot.
And I like that. It feels like a step in the right direction. Especially if the premiums aren't because I haven't been able to play one of the premiums yet. But I've played a couple of those missions, and I've enjoyed them. I mean, they give me something to do in the world other 100%. Than go and hunt animals.
There's more to do.
Go and bounty hunt. It gives more to do. I think it's a good addition.
Yeah.
If it were just by itself, I'd be like, this is bull.
Well, that's the thing.
It's also free.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's definitely more of it's 100% an update for people that are still continuously playing it, which it took me a couple angry days to sit down and figure that out. We were super excited for it. We jumped in day one. They made it in our Rockstar's trailers and how they worded it made it sound like we were getting the GTA heists in Red Dead Online is what we were getting.
Right.
And GTA Online heists are amazing. You work together with your crew, you do these smaller missions to get you the equipment you need to do the big heist. And the big heist is a very intricate thing that can go wrong. And like each one has their own job. You go do it. You dress up this, you do that, you get this truck, you drive it here, you have to drive this, you have to go here. It's a very intricate system. And it's what they made it sound like it was going to be. And again, it's, it was a free update. It didn't, and that's why I call it an update, not expansion, because like you mentioned earlier, all the expansions have been a big bit of content where you pay gold for it and it gives you a bunch of unlocks, new gear, new equipment, new horses. Right.
This is not,
you don't get
the extra
any of that.
No.
So, and that's why I'm not super bummed because it is free. I didn't have to pay anything for it. You just log into it. It's 100% for people that are continuously playing it. And I agree. The missions themselves are as just something else to do. Yeah, I enjoy it. You go through, there's stuff to shoot at, or you're sneaking through somewhere. You actually are grabbing saddlebags and throwing them on your shoulder, right up to someone, and you actually hand off the saddlebag. It's a small little thing, but it's very immersive, and I really dig that. But so you get like 1 or 2 capital, one of the smaller missions, and you need 12 in order to do the premium mission. So after doing many, 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 many of those smaller missions, you get to do the premium mission. And it took 4 minutes. It was not difficult at all. There was no extra things to it. We literally boarded a train, killed 2 people, walked up to a chest to get a diamond from. It wasn't an actual item. You literally just did the animation of putting something in your pocket. It said it was in your pocket. You jumped off the train, got on a horse, rode a mile the other way and dropped it off at a guy, and it was done. It was less effort than the actual beginning missions, and it was it was extremely let down. Bode and Gunbait immediately uninstalled the games and went, all right, well, I'm good. We checked it out. I'm done. Until they actually add another role or something. So yeah, to be this big lead up to what they announced it as being, this very big, intricate, you had to do stuff, everyone had a role, and you would do the thing, to it being this literally run onto a train, grab a box, shoot 2 people, and ride your horse, which is something we've done in a million other missions. It was basically a bounty mission, but it was a diamond instead of a person. And that was the whole thing, which was super let down.
And okay, so here's a couple of things that I'm interested to experience for myself. Because I get that aspect of it, but it could have been just that particular mission.
There's only one mission right now, though.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, that's the only premium mission.
Even if you go to a different person,
they all give you the same premium mission. So hopefully it gives them a chance to add some cooler stuff down the road, but to be there, like we want to people to be excited about this event, to have that as your first mission is a real letdown.
Well, and it could be, and I get that, but also remember like the legendary bounties, right?
Yeah.
Like they had some really fun ones, but they they would only do them like as specific events.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if this is going to be a similar thing. Also, I'm interested to see how they'll expand this in the future.
And that's the thing is I'm waiting for that too, but like their first legendary bounty was really cool and that got you sucked into bounty hunting, you know? Yeah. And to have this as their like, this is cool content. We want you to be excited about it. It was a real letdown.
Yeah.
But like again, if you're just playing the game, it's stuff to do with your group or solo. And it really is, it's a chance to go out and shoot more stuff. There's some story going on. There are a lot of cutscenes, which are beautiful. Which anytime there's a cutscene in RDO, you know, where you can see your character in it, I'm super happy. But I think the budget went to the cutscenes and not to the content. It makes me sad.
Well, and I think they've set it up to where they can easily, you know, add in those missions as segments of, okay, this one didn't go off the way that we want. How can we improve these and go from there? You know, so I don't know. Like I'm back into playing RDRO. But I always enjoyed just puttering around in it anyway.
Oh yeah.
You know? I'm hoping, I'm a little sad that Gunbait and Bode uninstalled it because I'm like, I want to play with you guys. You didn't uninstall it, right?
I didn't uninstall it, no. But this is
good because
there's nothing there. That we've played thousands of hours of RDO. Everything's maxed. We've done all the content. Well, this was the thing to bring
you
people
guys
in. Yeah, but you guys
are maxed.
Exactly. You got to remember. From their perspective, it added nothing. Why would they want it? You know?
Yeah. I enjoy it. I'm gonna enjoy playing around with it a little bit more. I enjoyed it more than I enjoyed having it. It made me because like, well, and here's the other thing too, because I went from playing on console.
Yeah.
And then I got my new computer and I was like, hey, I finally get the opportunity to play with you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, now with this new expansion, it's a great opportunity to reinstall to get it on the computer. Just the online portion, and then go and play it.
And make easy money to get the stuff you want, for sure.
Oh, yeah, because the payout's
pretty
substantial.
Good. Yeah, for such a short amount of time, yeah.
Right. And that was one of the things I was like, okay, well, I can make some money instead of spending hours putting stuff into a trading mission and then going and getting, you know, because now I've had to start from square one, so nothing is maxed out. I don't have my large wagon anymore. I'm starting from the very beginning, which... I wish they would. I mean, they have the social club. I wish they would make the stuff that I had purchased on console.
Yep.
Just the stuff that I had purchased.
Why cross save isn't
the roles?
A thing? I don't get it.
And because honestly, it kind of pisses me off. Like I only paid $28 for the online, but then I wanted to get all the roles that I had, which meant that I had to buy gold to then do them, and I've already paid for that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's how when we all first started again, that's square one, man. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It sucks.
It kind of sucks.
With so many games having cross save, how they don't, I don't know.
Yeah.
But one, I will say some positive things though. Which is interesting with their Outlaw Pass system. They've done something really cool.
I think that's interesting too. Yeah.
So for a long time, if you do their Outlaw Pass, it was 100 levels. And if you did the whole pass, you got your gold back, which was awesome. So you could just buy the next pass. Then they went through a period where it was still 100 levels, but you didn't get the same amount of gold back, which it wasn't like they're secret about it. They told everyone, hey, we're doing this because we want you to buy more gold. They literally came out and said it, which I respect. It's dumb, but they said why. I respect it. So what they're doing this time around is they're doing 3 smaller Outlaw passes leading up to Halloween. So these smaller passes are only 25 ranks, which is super easy to do. And you get all your gold back that you put into buying the pass. So you have everything back if you finish a pass at 25 levels, which is easy to do. Get the next one, same thing, new content. There's really nothing cool in it. Just you get Dutch's outfit, which is super cool.
I have it already.
Yeah. Because it's like the first thing you unlock, which is kind of a letdown because the rank 20 thing's a shirt. And I'm like, what? There's nothing else cool in the past except for Dutch's outfit, but whatever. But so If you do all 3 passes, you then get the Halloween pass for free. And the Halloween pass always has really cool stuff on it.
Yes.
So I dig that. It's a smaller pass. You get your gold back. It's easy to get the 25 ranks. Getting 100 was very difficult, you know. So that is a really cool thing they're doing. I will give them that. Their new pass system, love it. The opportunity for them to add more cool stuff to this new update, I'm excited. That's why I didn't uninstall it, because there is opportunity for that to come in. It's just not there, and we were very let down by this update.
I think it could come in quickly, too.
I hope so. They need to. Having like 10 months to a year in between any update to the game is really killing the player base. Because you look at, the big thing is, if you look at GTA, like if I follow them on Twitter and stuff, it's like every 2 months there's some big, they just got a huge like tuners update with a whole new garage, cutscenes, characters, whole bunch of shit. And like 2 months before that, they got, it's like every 2 or 3 months they get these huge updates. And it's like once a year we get this.
Well,
it's
also,
really hurting.
I agree. And I think also GTA 5 is an established moneymaker for them.
Oh yeah, no, I absolutely get why. It just sucks.
And in the beginning, I believe it had similar issues to RDRO 2, where there wasn't a lot of content. Most people just ran around and killed each other, which was what happened when RDR. I mean, when it first came online,
that was the only thing there was to do, was hunt and kill each other.
Nothing. Literally nothing. There were story missions, and then like you could go and talk to people. And remember when it first started, and you would get like 5 cents, 10 cents.
Oh yeah,
and everything was like $300.
The only way to make money was to hunt.
Yeah, and you would have to just
hunt a lot. That. We killed a lot of animals. Well, I also remember, because the only thing there was to shoot each other. And I remember there was a ton of gunfights for the first week until everyone ran out of ammo and then realized they had to buy ammo, and no one could buy ammo. So then it was just a bunch of people either quit, or they were like, you just saw a lot of people suddenly fishing and hunting, you know? They're like, shit, stuff costs money. I gotta buy ammo, you know? Yeah, it was fun.
And it took them a minute to tweak and get it to where they wanted to. So I have hopes. They do seem to have their ear to the ground. What players don't like, what they do like.
Yeah.
And they have made tweaks. You know, they made that tweak pretty quickly, where they were like, yeah, okay, we're gonna give you more money for each mission, instead of you're like, oh my gosh, grinding to get $10. Like you got $10 and you were like, I'm rich. I'm a rich man. But yeah, so I have high hopes for it. Like I'm hoping after this we can jump onto RDR and play.
I have hopes. I don't have high hopes anymore, but I have hopes.
Fair.
We've been crushed by this too many times. We're all, it's a sad thing, but we're all kind of losing hope in RDO.
I will also say this. Having used the controller and keyboard and mouse, it is so much easier to play this game with a controller.
Well, because it auto-aims.
Yes! I cannot tell you how many times I died trying to do bounty missions with a freaking keyboard and mouse, because I was like, there are like 10 guys and I couldn't shoot. Like I could survive. But I could, like, if there were 2 or 3 guys that I needed to capture, I couldn't capture them in time. I couldn't shoot them in time, because then they jump on their horse and take off. So I'd get one guy, and I'm like, F this.
It took a lot of practice, but I can't play it on controller now. The auto locking messes me up now, because I've gotten really good at, especially sniping, dude. I just fucking shit on people with a sniper rifle with mouse.
When I'm hunting, I use the mouse, because then I can get up there. I can.
Shooting a griefer in the head over and over and over because you're better than them, while using the in-game voice feature and just telling them how bored you are and how terrible they are at life, and this is really depressing how much they're dying. There's nothing like it, man.
You're so mean.
It's always, I don't do it to just random players. If they're purposely being a dick and
they're griefing you and being a dick, yeah.
If they're being a dick and griefing, there's nothing better than when I go, all right, it's rolling block rifle time. Boom. Sucks to be you. Boom. Man, this is boring. Boom. Are you going to do anything? Boom. Man, if only you were a hacker. Boom. Oh, dude, it's so fun. Because people don't give up in RDO. The second they start a gunfight, you're there for like 25, 30 minutes. And when you can get it where they don't kill you for 30 minutes and you're just shitting on them, you're like, I'm running out of ammo. You better give up soon. Oh, it feels good.
I will also say this. Like, I had to tweak a couple of the settings. I had forgotten how pretty this game was.
Yeah, this now game you're looking at it on PC.
Gorgeous. Oh. You know, and compared with the PS5, it's actually pretty.
Oh yeah, with that PS5, I'm sure it's pretty close. Yeah.
But it's just a pretty game.
Yeah. Well, I can't tell you how long I've spent just taking screenshots.
I saw a thing. You'll get a kick out of this. I saw a thing a while back, and it was like somebody had posted, and they were like, tricked them again, and it was a picture. They'd taken a screenshot of or I think it was just the game, because actually the game,
the campaign,
the graphics are even better, because they don't have to have as many assets that are taking loads and load times and things like that. So they do tone it down a little bit in the online version. But I think they had taken a picture and sent it in to like a news program that was like, take pictures of you walking outside.
Oh yeah.
So they were like, I got them again because they had done it a couple of times before, where they had just sent them a screenshot of Red Dead.
It's so awesome. Yeah, it's a gorgeous game, man.
It is. It's beautiful, and I just enjoy riding my horse around.
Yeah, no.
Sometimes it gets really frustrating when I'm looking for a deer and there's not any. But other than that,
yeah. Well, anything else on the update there, brother?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Are you ready? You ready to press on, my man?
I'm ready to press on.
All right. All right.
Let's do our emails.
Russ, we do have an email from Drafty, which I'm sure you're not surprised at all about.
I'm not.
His question for the show: do you even?
Yes, but only with Steven.
Okay, I respect that. I respect it. I only odd, personally.
Okay.
Yeah. Here we go. Good email. Good email.
Story time.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Story Time, a part of the show where we sit down and tell a story in gaming. It can be really anything involved in gaming, tabletop, video games, real life sports, and anything that could be considered a game, right?
Who plays sports?
Some people, I guess. I don't know. Someone out there plays sports. How you doing, Egypt? Yeah. Russell, do you have a story?
Are you not going to go first? How come I always have to go first?
Because it makes you nervous every time. You're never prepared for this.
I know. And actually, I remembered earlier, I think it was earlier this week, and I was like, I need to think of a story, and then I immediately forgot.
Oh, I respect it. I like it. Do you need me to go first? I can go first if you really want
me
to.
Yeah, you go first.
Okay.
I'll let you go first this time. I'll share.
I will go first. So me and Gunbait101 had decided to sit down and play Deep Rock Galactic again. It'd been a long time. It's a fantastic game, one that we thoroughly enjoy because we just sit down once every couple months and play it. So we're sitting down to play, and we're doing this. We've been progressing through this I don't know if it's a tutorial, but it's like you do every sort of mission there is in the game, and then you get something at the end of it. So we've been slowly working on this thing for months, and we finally get to the very end, right? And the mission before it was we had to build this pipeline to all these different places, right, to get resources, and then defend the pipeline and fix it, which was super cool. But it was this very intricate tunnel system that it took us forever to find where we took everything. So we get to this final mission, and it's like, you're going to be killing these monster egg things. And I don't remember exactly what they were called, but it sounded horribly ominous when you read the mission file, right?
Right.
And we're like, okay, So we show up and there's just bugs everywhere. We're fighting and wave after wave after wave after wave. We finally get to the room and this huge fucking egg. Massive. And we're like, okay. And so we're like, let's just see. I guess we'll see what happens. So I set up a couple turrets, we mine out some areas in case we have to run and climb up places. We get ourselves prepped, and so we shoot the egg and it cracks. And the biggest bug we've yet to see in this game comes ripping out of it and jumps on the ceiling and snarling and spitting stuff and running like 1,000,000 miles an hour in circles. And we spent the next 10 minutes, no communication, both of us screaming like little girls in each other's ears while sprinting in circles going, help me, no, oh God, he's right there, oh my God, run, 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 until it was finally dead. And, and then we breathed heavily and we didn't help each other at all. We literally just screamed, had a good laugh, got to the next egg. Like, all right, we know what we're in for. We called in a resupply. We're like, all right, we're set here. We're going to build better tunnels here. Like, we think we got this now.
Right.
We shoot the egg. 2 of these things come out of the second egg.
Oh, no.
And every plane went out of the window, and it was 20 minutes of just, oh my God, no, it's here. No, it's here. All right, there's 2 of them. Run. I'm stuck in a tunnel. And I'd have to run over and jump on its back to make it aggro to me. Now there's both on me. And then he would aggro and back and forth and back and forth. And I think we each went down a couple times. We're trying to revive each other and keep pushing through. And it was, we beat the mission. We got our whole series of missions done. We got a bunch of XP and some money and stuff. But it was seriously half an hour. My wife had to come and check on me because it was 30 minutes straight of me screaming. Like top of my lungs in the office here. It was amazing. So yeah, terrifying. Absolutely terrifying.
Hold on.
Yeah, take your time.
Sorry.
No, you're good. But yeah, well, Russell yells at his wife. Yeah. Deep Rock Galactic. It's something I've talked about a few times on the podcast. Definitely recommend it. You are space dwarves, right? Dwarves have progressed forward, into the space age, and they're still themselves. They want to mine for minerals and everything. And you work for this corporation that has you and your team on this awesome rig. The social space is awesome. There's a bar, there's a dance floor, there's mini games, huge screens to update your gear as you rank up. You unlock new weapons, perks for your weapons, different looks for your dwarf. There's different classes everyone plays, and every class plays really well with a particular tool you need. So if you have a full squad, you're doing better than if you're by yourself or just the 2 of you even. Yeah, it's a really cool social space. And you go into these planets and you're trying to find certain minerals or, do recon missions or build these oil refineries or do these, God, what am I looking at? Just move around with like the VIP and stuff. And it's a really cool experience. And it's a fun art style, and there's a shit ton of bugs, and you're shooting stuff and mining and trying to escape, and it's a ton of fun. Great game. Deep Rock.
And you're playing as a dwarf, right?
Yeah, you're a space dwarf.
That is so cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. What do you got for us, Russ?
Okay. So recently I picked up the Master Chief Collection.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Which is fun. I am a little disappointed that it doesn't have Halo 5 in it because that's like the one I haven't played yet. And I was like, I want to play Halo 5. Anyway, so I started playing that. I played Halo Reach to start out with because I was like, you know what? I'm going to go through and I'm just going to play it through. And then eventually Brett will finally join me and we can do co-op.
Mm-hmm.
And so I played Halo Reach. Halo Reach is probably my least favorite of
Really?
them.
I love Halo Reach.
This is why I don't like Halo Reach. Because you move at a snail's pace when you're running. You have to have the sprint to move at like a decent clip.
That's true.
And
it did make you super slow, so the sprint thing looked like a good choice.
Seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I could not get used to it. And then I jumped to, the anniversary edition of the original Halo. I'm like, oh my gosh, Master Chief moves so fast. Like, this is ridiculous. But I will say, like, and this is, I guess, maybe less of a story and more about my experience with computer gaming in general. Because this is my first time really playing on a PC in years.
Yeah.
I mean, years and years and years. So it's taken me a long time to get used to a mouse and keyboard. But for first-person shooters, like, I see why people are like, yeah, mouse and keyboard is the way to go.
Oh,
Because you
yeah.
put a sniper rifle in my hands in Halo, and I feel like a god.
Dude,
Like,
that first time you flick quickly onto something and just bam! Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And, like, because I'm terrible at it with a controller, like, I can never line up a headshot to save my life. And it's so easy with keyboard and mouse, and I'm like, oh, okay. Now I see why people play with it. But I remember specifically there's a mission in Halo Reach where you're, like, storming down the beach with, like, a bunch of your, the other Spartans and Noble team. And it was probably, it took me back. Because you're running down, and you're just, like, there's, like, 2 or 3 of them with you, and you're just gunning down grunts, because, of course, I'm playing on normal, because I can't play it on hard yet, until I get used to everything. And it was like, oh, this is the Halo I remember. Where you're running down the beach and you're just gunning down grunts and there's like an army coming at you and you're just like, just 2 or 3 guys and you're like, you whip out your sniper rifle, you shoot the guy off of the gun, then you pull out your SMG and you gun down the people in front of you. You run up to an elite and you hit him in the head, knocking your shield down, and then you gun him down. You throw a grenade up somewhere and you see grunts just flying in all directions. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, oh yeah, man. Yeah, that ending where you're just surviving. Oh god, dude.
It's so good. Like, the story of Halo Reach is really, really good.
Really good.
The gameplay was just, it's that weird in between where they were transitioning to giving you a sprint, and kind of the gameplay mechanics around it that just, it fell a little short. And then they made the tweaks and made Halo 4 a lot better. And Halo 5, like, being able to climb, like, I'm Master Chief and I'm like, man, I remember him being able to jump a lot higher.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm like jumping, trying to land on something, and it's just barely too tall. And I'm like, what is going on? And then I was watching somebody play Halo 5 and they're like running and then they jump and they climb up on the wall and and I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I remember. Like, the nostalgia factor is very different than the reality of what the gameplay was like.
It always goes, yeah.
Because the gameplay is fun, but you're like, you start to, you take the older editions and you apply it to the older ones, and you're like, oh yeah, that was such a good game. And then you play it and you're like, man, this is rough.
Yeah, I know. Dude, nostalgia's not good for you, but it is good for you.
No, I mean, it's great, but it's also, it can be very troublesome sometimes.
Oh, I love it, man. Right on, dude. I think we did it, brother.
Are we done?
I think so.
That's our show.
I think so. I think we did it. Hour and a half almost to the dot. I think we finally did it after a year and a half.
So we need to talk for like another hour then.
No. I'm surprised. When we got on that tangent, I was like, this is going to make the show go for an hour. And we came back a lot quicker than I thought we would.
Yeah.
But we covered a lot.
Yeah. We did.
Hell yeah, man.
A lot of it tangential, but, whatever.
Russell.
I love you.
I love you. Where the hell can these people find you so they can love you as well?
You can find me on Twitter at drjex, Jex 0725. I mostly post my own artwork and D&D stuff, D&D related stuff. And then I also follow a lot of artwork. So, I enjoy it because I look at a lot of comic book art. I love looking at people's creations and things like that.
People are amazing.
For real, though. And then you can find me, of course, on the Discord, and that is Jackal7250. and I'm usually lurking in the D&D channels. Occasionally, I'll jump in on the ELMMERFUDD's channel, in the voice channel, Last Oasis, Red Dead. I've been in there a couple of times. I kind of keep an eye out. If I see somebody's in there, I'll usually jump in to chat. Sometimes I just like to game and just, I'll put on a show or something and grind away at different things, and like Red Dead or Last Oasis, where I'll just go and just go on a bolt building spree.
Oh yeah, it's so relaxing.
Yeah. But yeah, that's where people can find me.
Hell yeah. If you're out there listening, please join the Just Some Guardians Discord. Ever since we stopped covering Destiny, no one talks in there anymore. It's really just D&D, and every once in a while someone will pop in and say, "Hey, good morning, everybody." And that's about it. So we talk about everything now. And if you're listening to us and you're into everything, get in the Discord and come talk with us. It's been real sad since everyone thought not to talk about anything but Destiny. So,
everybody talks on your Discord, your personal Discord.
Yeah, but there's still a lot of people that aren't over there that would.
Oh.
It was really like D&D and Destiny were the only channels that really happened a ton. And when we're like, we're not Destiny anymore, it hurt. It hurt.
Yeah.
So yeah, come in there, hang out, chat with us. We want to learn about you. We want to be able to game with you. We want to be friends with you. We've got almost every platform covered. Let's get this rocking and rolling.
Rocking and rolling.
Well, everybody, thank you for joining us for episode 105 of Just Some Guardians. When we do this show, we are live. It's twitch.tv/JustSomeGuardians. Friday nights at 11:30 p.m. Eastern. Come in the chat, ask us questions, talk about what we're talking about. We will be sure to include your thoughts into the show and your questions. And it's great to hang out. We thoroughly enjoy having people here. Just go to JustSomeGuardians.com. That's got our RSS feed there for the audio. We've got embedded is our YouTube. Embedded is the Twitch. Everything you need is there. At some point, it will be updated to not be Destiny stuff, and will be, us and really cool stuff, and hopefully ways for you to be more involved in the website. So go there. As for myself, I'm ELMMERFUDD. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at ELMMERFUDD Games. Double M, double D. Russell, before you go update the website, take us out.
Join us next week on Just Some Guardians for mutual chaos and utter incompetency.
I have to say, I was thinking about this week. I appreciate when we came back to doing the show, right? We made it very clear out of the gate. Do not expect this to be a weekly show.
Right.
We are aware that life happens. We're adults. We're busy. If it's every other week, hell yeah. If it's once a month, it happens. So I'm glad we set the expectations early. They're like, hey, don't expect this every week, because that's probably not going to happen.
For a while there, we were pretty consistent.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I was thinking, I'm like, because I was feeling bad that we're constantly